Namaskar. Shubha Deepavali, my dear friends. Welcome to Prakash on Basics. I'm Prakash Zo, and we've been talking about darshans, the Indian philosophies. Uh, Among the Gnostic darshans, and the one that has been opposed by everybody else, all the other darshans, is the Charwak darshan. While discussing many of these ideas, I might have to repeat some of the points. Also, I'll tend to refer to the original Devanagari or Sanskrit terms rather than the translated English words because they may not really completely convey the meanings. Uh, First of all, there seems to be a general trend to call this Charvak darshan wrong without analyzing their viewpoints logically. I feel they've got a raw deal for a number of reasons. So I'll put the facts before you and leave it to you to judge for yourself what is right and what is wrong, and whether Charvak philosophy is as bad as it is talked of. Please realize that even during the Vedic period, there were those who did not accept the authority of the Vedas, the gods, Brahma, and so forth. The Shvetashvatar Upanishad refers to those who believe only in their senses as being true, sight, sound, etc. Then there is reference to Anindra, those who don't believe in Indra, the god at that time dominant, and those who do not make havan or offerings to gods, ahutis to gods. All these people later on, in much later period, have been clubbed along with the Charwaks. While classifying all these, Yajnavalkya uses Ved, Ishwar, and Moksha as the three criteria. The Buddha and the Jain darshans do not accept the Ved or the Ishwar, but they both accept the concept of moksha. Though in Buddhism, the concept of moksha probably is of a later period. The Sankhya darshan accepts the Vedas as its authority, but doesn't believe in Ishvara, looks at a different concept, and it doesn't really accept the concept of moksha. The Charvaks, on the other hand, don't accept the Ved, they don't accept Ishvara, and they don't accept moksha also. So they could be treated as the hardcore Gnostics in terms of philosophy. Then what is Charvak? Is that a person? For as a person also there are two opinions. Uh, Charvak could be another name for Bruhaspati, or it could be for his later disciples also. The Buddhist text Lalit Vistara refers to Bharaspatya thinkers, the ones who follow the concept of Bruhaspati, as materialistic and non believers of Vedas. There is a second name that also comes to the forefront, and that could be Ajit Keshakambali. Remember, I had talked of this person long back. He's of the period slightly prior to Buddha or Mahavir, contemporary, you could say, around 6th century BC, 7th century BC. He is believed to be Bhuta Chatushtayavadi and Dehatmavadi. What these words mean, I'm going to come as we proceed along. It could also be many of the thinkers of similar view that were known as the Charwaks. The reason is the word Charwak can be broken down into Charu Vak. Charu is sweet, Vak is talking. So these could be sweet talkers whose ideas could be pleasing and convincing and convenient to follow by a lot of people. Uh, Charvak also means related to the word charvana, which means chewing on and the variety of concepts such as Vedic concepts basically Atma, Paramatma, uh, Moksha, Maya, Swarga, the Karma philosophy, the Phala Prapti, that is fruits of karma, and so forth. In one of the Buddhist works known as the Prabodha. Buddhist or not really Buddhist, the Prabodha Chandrodaya mentions that their approach is basically related only to the ones associated with our own sense organs. That is what they only believed in. Satisfying them and satisfying your own desires is the prime objective of life, according to the Charvaks. The Charvak philosophy is also known as the Lokayat Darshan. Again, the word Lokayat seems to have two meanings. The first deals with uh, associated with this lok, this realm, this world, the world of the living. There is no other realm or world according to the Charvaks. There's no heaven, there is no hell, there is no afterlife, nothing. Everything in this lok, Martya lok, as it is typically referred to as. The other meaning of lokayat is the one that has been accepted by the masses. So, a lokayat darshan must have been pretty popular at that time among a lot of people, a lot of thinkers, but more so in terms of the common people. There are many references in the Jain, Buddha, and other Hindu texts, but they all uh, present only the opposing view, but they still call it Lokayat, which means they do not deny that it must have been pretty popular then also. Um, we can, is that possible? We could think of an example. Suppose using cross reference of newspapers and information that is available today, somebody tries to piece together uh, the personality of our popular uh, president, prime minister, Modi ji. The newspapers and many of these media tend to highlight only the opposing views, the biases, what's the fault that they can find in him, and don't really reflect his true achievements. Neither do they reflect the following of the masses that this great leader has. So he would be misunderstood, misinterpreted, and talked of evilly as a wrong person by a lot of people who have not got to the original sources. And talking of sources, what are the sources of this Charvak darshan that we have in front of us? None of the original texts have survived. So we have to rely only on possible cross references. The original Bruhaspata Sutra is not available. As to whether it is lost or whether it was destroyed by all the opposing people, that also happens. Think of the Bamiyan Buddha statue. Things like that could also happen in a period later to the Charvaks also. Also, what responses the Charvaks had, what counter arguments the Charvaks placed, has very few records, and they have not been preserved completely in detail in any of the texts that are available today. There are a lot of information units available. The Darshan Sangraha, which is a compilation of the information related to all darshans. Then the text Tattva Pallav Singha by Jayahari Bhatt, which also gives you some information about the Charvaks. The Prabodh Chandrodaya that I just talked of, that's there again. But around 1928, D.R. Shastri compiled all the then available to him Charvak Sutras in a book which is known as the Charvak Sashti. Sashti means 60. And in 1944, he extended it up to Charvak Panchashikha. So these are two very authentic books that are available. Then in around 1965, Sarvanand Pathak also wrote on Charvak philosophy. So presently, all this material is available for all those who are interested. But then, to come to the basics, as philosophy, let us look into the salient features of the Charvak Darshan. As in case of all darshans, the information can be categorized under what is known as the Tattva Mimamsa, the Jnana Mimamsa, and the Karma Mimamsa. Mimamsa in general deals with analysis, basis, principles, ideologies, thought processes, convictions, reasoning of a particular philosophy or an ideology. The Tattva Mimamsa deals with the basic principles. The Jnana Mimamsa talks of its source of information or knowledge. And the Karma Mimamsa deals with what activities or what karmas or what actions do these people believe in. What is right and what is wrong according to them. It is said that the Charvaks are materialistic pleasure seekers, but with an ethical, moral base. For Jnanamimamsa, as a source of knowledge or information, they believe only in what is known as the Pratyaksha Pramana, personal and direct confirmation or proof based on our senses. Inferences, logical deductions are unbelievable according to them. Only information from our senses. Also, some inevitable universal phenomena such as sunrise and sunset and day and night, hunger, etc. These are to be accepted. Uh, the Charvaks seem to have four basic principles that they seem to lay stress in all their thought processes. First is the Bhuta Chatushtayavad. Everything is associated with four elements. Chatushta means four. The four elements that they believe in are Prithvi, Jala, Agni, and Vayu. Earth, water, fire, and air. These are the only three, so rather four things that make up everything that is around us. The second pillar is Pratyaksha Pradhanyavad. Only actual experiences are valid. The third pillar is Dehatmavad. They are known as Dehatmavadins. Body and soul are not two different things. There is no soul. There is only the living body with vital life force. But all this also comes from the four elements that we have talked of. There is nothing beyond it. There is no Atma. There is nothing that can exist permanently according to them. And their fourth concept deals with Swabhavad, which means everything's individual, natural behavior pattern and response. And that's valid for everything, how a particular thing would behave. There was a related concept also known as Bhuta Panchakavadin. The reason was uh, that Indian philosophy and Indian thought processes includes the five elements: Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, and Akash, where Akash is the space. The remaining four are the ones that I already mentioned. And according to our Indian concept, Atma, the universe, the life forces, that is Chetana, everything that is around us is made out of these five elements. But the Charwaks cut out one of them. According to them, Akash, that is space, is something that you can't prove. Not at that time, at least. And so you cannot treat, there is no pramana for it. There is no pratyaksha pramana for it. So they reduced it down to four, and that's the term that I had used. Bhuta Chatushtayavadin. That is believing in only in the four elements. The pramanas or the proofs or the truths are uh, accepted only if there is a personal experience through your senses. There are other pramanas which all other darshans believe in: the Anumana, the Upamana, and the Aptavachana, the Anupalabdhi, and so forth. Anuman is inference, Upaman is analogy, Aptavachan is the word of authority by somebody you can believe in or close to you. Uh, but Charwaks don't accept all this. They don't believe in Anuman or inferences. Where there is fire, where there is smoke, there is fire, and so forth. Because according to them, uh, not all experiences, not all the possible experiences can be had by an individual. So anything based on the experiences, your previous experiences, may be a limited form of knowledge, which may not always be true. For example, you could talk of animals. Uh, you could say that an Indian person from that period could say that there are no animals with stripes on their body. There are no horses or donkeys with stripes on their body. That's not possible. We've never seen anything of this sort. But then he hasn't gone to Africa. He hasn't seen a zebra. So the Vedic knowledge does not talk or does not infer anything related to the zebras. And again, there could be a distinct dualism in that also. Whether the stripes are on black as white stripes or black stripes on white. That's something again very difficult to interpret. So, all such things which you are not very sure of and which are uncertain are not to be believed according to the Charvaks. Nobody has seen heaven. Nobody has seen hell. Nobody has seen afterlife. Nobody has seen the Atma. Nobody has seen God. There is no direct proof for any of them. There is no pratyaksha pramana. So, the Charvaks don't believe it. Brahma, Atma, Ved, all these. Ved, for example, is apaurushaya, as we discussed right in the beginning, um, beyond creation of humans. And if that is there, the Charwaks don't believe it. When they put forward their reasonings, many of the other darshans in their arguments couldn't directly contradict or refute many of the arguments put forward by these many logical people or logical viewpoints. So it was difficult for them to comment and accept Charvaks as something that was good. So many of them, all of them, in fact, all darshans cursed the Charvaks. Is this all? And then what about that famous couplet from the Charvaks? Yavat Jivet Sukham Jivet. That too was misinterpreted. Not only that, but many other concepts were misinterpreted too. Many of their ideas were not really put forward. What those ideas are, I'm going to come to next time. Till we meet again, have a great time. Understand that some things, though pointed out bad, may have a lot of merit in them. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends about Charwaks. Tell them about who the Charwaks are. And I'm going to come to more details on them next time. Till we meet again, Shubha Deepavali and Namaskar.